about this man, the greatest man in history, who made promises of eternal delivery. You couldn't ignore him or avoid him. It's like he sees into me. There's something about the way he spoke. His words penetrated with an unavoidable transparency. No one compares with this man, who journeyed from Bethlehem to Calvary, who lived in obscurity, then made claims of divinity. Was it just insanity? There's something about this man, the greatest man of mystery. Crowds gathered to see him, and all who heard him felt known.
In the storm I will lift up my melody. Jesus is greater, took our form, you were born to deliver. Jesus is greater.
Through the pain of wandering the streets of life, hoping for the day to break and end the night, maybe your soul is exhausted and you haven't heard what it cost him to welcome you home. There's something about his grace that is greater than all our sin, greater than our guilt or shame, the Father's love that welcomes you in. Maybe you've been in church every week. Your life looks clean and neat. You've memorized every verse, but your soul might still be under the curse. You don't know if you're forgiven. You don't know if you're free. Maybe you're still asking, what has he done for me?
When I fear, you draw near and remind me, Jesus is greater. The work is done, now the old is behind me. Jesus is greater.
Crowds and in questions and day and at night, this man rose up, bearing the weight of our pride, lifting up his voice, shouting out freedom's cry, "It is finished." And completing the Father's business, he was buried with our sin, its power diminished. And although Friday ended with a buried Savior, Sunday morning has started with Jesus is greater. He's greater than our sin and the emptiness of death. His resurrection power is our very breath. He is greater than trials, attacks, and strife. His grace breaks forth today with promise of life. He is greater than anything we could possibly conceive. His love secures children's identity. He is greater and bigger and holy in every way, and salvation is his offer all of our days. So come, join the chorus, gather in the collection, let the melody ring forth of the Lord's resurrection.
Through it all I will live